What is going on, everyone? Graveyard Grog here. If I may sound a little bleh, it's because I'm exhausted. Got back from Monster Mania earlier today. It was such an amazing time. Did not want it to end, but glad it did end when it did because, too much of a good thing's never good. That being said, I didn't get a whole lot. I really don't buy many collectibles. Actually, this is like my fourth time there. I still really haven't bought much from vendors. The only thing I will buy are like shirts. I won't buy like figurines or anything like that. It's just not me. I just don't, collect that stuff. It was the first time I ever did get to cosplay. Uh, I did Jason from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. I spent over a year working on it, and with just this day, with this weekend in mind to do that. And it was a hit. It was a success. And I cannot wait to do it again. I was originally going to do it only twice this weekend. One in the afternoon for Saturday, and then one for the costume show. But once I got there, things started really, picking up in the lobby and stuff. It was more like around 5 o'clock when everyone was. I didn't do my cosplay then. I had my agendas. My first agenda was Clive Barker. First and foremost, the reason why I went there is because of Clive Barker. Um, I, I didn't know how they were gonna work it. I knew it wasn't gonna be the photo op. My photo op wasn't until Saturday, which was yesterday, and it's like, well, I better go down there and see, what's shaking because I had the maps and everything and where they were all gonna be, and I knew that he was gonna be in his own private room. So it was like around 5 o'clock or so when I thought, okay, let me go down and get ready. Turns out there was already a line starting, already forming for him, and it was outside. And anyone who was there this past weekend knew damn well that it was fucking hot as hell. It was humid. It was disgusting. But I'm glad I went down to the lobby when I did, because uh, it was already a big line, but it wasn't too big and unbearable. So I ended up waiting a total of maybe 4 hours or something, maybe if that. I it's a little. It was a long wait. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it's about maybe three and a half tops. Because once they were ready, they brought us in to the upstairs or into the waiting queue room because he wasn't ready yet. Because what happened was by the time the convention started, his photo ops were beginning. So we all had to wait for the photo ops to be done. So by the time the photo ops were done, it was like about maybe 6 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. I started waiting in line earlier because I knew it was gonna be a bitch. That's right. So yeah, it was like around 3. So yeah, so it was 6:15, 6:30 by the time I finally got in to meet Clive, and I'll tell you what, that was just. I know everyone else says, "Oh, I've already met him. I've already met him." Well, you know what? I never fucking met him. I've been waiting to meet him my whole life. So that meant a lot to me. Um, and he was just amazing to talk to. I got him to you know I showed him a picture of the painting I had of his, and I can remember. I wish I had it recorded. I remember he goes, "Oh wow, I remember this." Just the way he said it was so cool, and I don't want to get too much involved with that because actually, I had set something up with his art director, and we're gonna uh, do things where he's gonna actually he told me to talk to the art director and then send him some stuff, and then he's gonna give it to Clive. Clive's gonna sign and authenticate, and they're gonna send it back to me. So that's awesome. Basically, I just had him sign a picture for me, and the picture I had him sign. Now he wasn't personalizing anything, but I saw this picture and it just stood out to me the most of all. And this was like such an amazing picture. I love this so much. Um, just to have him sign that. Now I have another picture of his signed, but I got that through his fan club back in like the mid '90s when there was the Lost Souls Club. So now I have two autographs and the one so the two autographs and the painting. So I'll be able to hang all three of those up together. And then the next day, I had the photo op with him, and I basically, I just gave him like the biggest hug of my entire life, and he didn't, he hugged me back, and it was so freaking cool. I basically got to tell, I said to him, you inspired me, you changed my life, and I love you, and he said I love you too, and I thought that was fucking awesome. That meant a lot. He's done so much with sparking my imagination. Um, I just I will remember that always. So all that stuff is I'm gonna have like when I move to the other place, I'm gonna have a little section of Clive Barker stuff, the painting, the two autographs, and the photo op. Upon checking in at the hotel, two people to my left were checking in as well. They were turned out to be Barbie Wild and Simon Bamford, aka Female Cenobite and Butterball Cenobite. So I talked to them for a couple of minutes, and I actually had Barbie Wild. She was more than delighted to do a plug for the other channel, Cemetery Cinema. I thought that was fucking great. So I was very happy with that. And they had a cake cutting ceremony that night too. And it was with all the Cenobites. So that was pretty cool. And I you know, I originally was going to meet a couple different people. I knew who I wanted to meet. But then, as the event progressed and stuff, I started changing my mind and everything. So Clive Barker. Now, when you're a VIP, you get what's called a jump the line card, and I was formulating on how I was gonna work everything. So I knew waiting for Clive was gonna be a long time. Then I knew Robert Englund was gonna be a long time as well, and I knew I also wanted to meet Ron Perlman. So again, there's a lot of people that just say, "Oh, I already met them," but again, I haven't. Um, so what I did was I took all that time to wait for Clive Barker, and I was not going to use my jump the line card just because I was already waiting for him. So they were saying Robert Englund's line is just as long as Barker's. So as soon as I got done meeting Clive Barker, I immediately redeemed my jump the line card for Robert Englund. So they brought me ahead of everyone. Oh, for what I thought. I still had to wait in like the line that was like in front of him. It was still really short, but the guy talks so much. I never thought he did. I thought he was more like a sign. Hi, what's your name? Okay, sign that. No, he talked. I mean, he was good too. That boy was a talker. He got you involved. It was really cool. I liked it. I was a little pissed because this one lady, she had used her jump the line card too. She was right behind me, and then she started complaining. Oh, but I have a photo op coming up. Can I please go? And she was like crying, bitching, and moaning and stuff. And they said, do you have any, do you have anything? What's that word I'm looking for? Or do you have any problems with this? I look at her and I said, well, I'm VIP too, and I use my jump the line card. You know, and in my head, I'm saying to myself, you knew you had a fucking jump the line card. You can use it any fucking time. You jumped the line now. Now you have your photo op. You should have used your head a little more for that. I would have done the photo op and then used my jump the line card. But no, she did it that way, and she was just like, oh, puppy dog eyes. So, and then they just she put her right in front, and I was a little pissed about that because I thought I thought when you use a jump line, it's just you go right up, like you are the next, but no. So I was just getting the room was so fucking hot, and I was like sweating. There's so many people in that one room with him, and I just wanted to be out of there. I was so excited to meet him, but I wanted to be out of there because it was just everyone was just dripping sweat. It was horrible. There's like no ventilation or anything. Um, and by the time I got to him, it's like I really didn't want to talk. I just had him sign something real quick, and then, and let that be that. And then, so I had him sign this. That was really nice. That was very cool. And I got to tell him, it was like how I had like a weird dream about how Freddie was after me and my friends. This is a long time ago. I had this dream, and in the dream, Robert Englund himself came to try and save us. And then a couple years later, a new nightmare came out, and so I thought that was kind of creepy. um, then, then after Robert Englund, I, went back to my hotel room and I, was pretty much done for the night. And it was already, I knew that, the VIP party was still going to happen, but I still had like about maybe, I don't know, I'd say 2 hours or so before the VIP would even begin. I wasn't hungry or anything like that, so my roommate joined me for the weekend for the events, and I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna do the cosplay tonight. And she's like, you are? I'm like, yeah. It's like, go for it. So I did. Because there was already a ton of people already down there doing their costumes and stuff. So I said, well, why not? Perfect opportunity. So I did. And let me tell you, it was very interesting because when I'm walking all around just like this, normal, you are just a regular spectator. But once I stepped out of that hotel room in the full costume, and I'm walking down that hall, I can only see out of one eye, and there's a mesh on that eye also. This whole eye is like completely cut off. As I'm walking down, I said, you are not you anymore. You are portraying something. Stay in that character as much as you can. And I did. I didn't talk. I did not do the Jason breathing. That's not part 6. Part 6 does not do that. So I didn't do the no. He's more like just like dead, just like still, and that's exactly what I did. And someone actually pointed that out, and they thought that was. It was like, you didn't do the heavy breathing, and I'm like, like Jason doesn't do it in part 6, and I'm like, that's maybe the only acknowledgement I did for someone. But instantly, like I got to the elevator, and right away someone was like, "Oh, I gotta get a picture with you. Can I?" And I was like, "Yeah, I see where this is going." So then I just walked around the whole venue for about 2 hours or so, and then I figured, okay, now it's time. And then I was done, and I went to the VIP party, and I made a friend there. He's pretty cool. I hope he's watching this, and hope you subscribed. Forgot your name. Oh no, I know your name, dude. Yeah. It was a fun VIP party. The only thing that really upset me was when the guests came. They were there for a little bit, and then they dipped out. Kane Hodder was supposed to do the Macarena, dipped out. And then you had the guests from Haunting of Hill House. They came. That was cool. They stayed for a good long while. And then they dipped out. Then the new friend I met, we stayed pretty much till the bitter end. It got down to a point where there was only the whole room was all crowded for the beginning, and then when it waned down, there was only about maybe 5 people. Both cakes were pretty much decimated, like chunks here and there. I should have cut some off and brought it back up, like I did the first Monster Mania one too. Anyway, but I didn't. Anyway, that wrapped it up for the for the first night. And then came the second day, and I was like, okay, so VIP you get to go in earlier. You get to go in 1 hour earlier. So that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna okay, so I'll go there. I'll stand in Ron Perlman's line and wait for an hour because I remember the first Monster Mania. I wanted to meet kid who played Danny from The Shining, and I remember taking my VIP early time and just standing in that line for the whole hour. I was the only one. I was waiting there, and then the crowd started showing up. But they had changed that, so the pre-show was now you had to wait by the main ticket booth, and the line went from inside all the way to outside. They So what happened was this was about 8:30 or so, I think, and they so again it was already hot in the morning, and then finally 9 o'clock rolled around. So all the VIPs and pre-show people, they started letting them in. um, so basically, what I did was once they let us in, I made a beehive or a beeline right like a beehive, made a beeline right down to the autograph room and boop stopped. They weren't letting anyone in. So again, there was a big line of people. Not too actually not too big. It was still a line, and I had to again wait because they weren't letting anyone in until 10 o'clock. So we get in there. No, we're waiting, and then finally they let us in, and they actually let us in. Oh frig, what was it? About 9:45. So waited from when was it? Yeah. From 9 to 9:45. Waited in that hall, and then finally they let us in. And again, I'm trying to go to Ron Perlman's line, and I get there, but but the people who are ahead of me, a good portion of them were for Ron Perlman, so I still get fucking stuck in a line. But I'm not going to complain too much because there's a lot of people in the line. Like after he had shown up like about maybe 10:30 or so when he finally showed up to start doing the autographs, and then from there I had to wait a little bit, you know. And by that time, my roommate said the people who are waiting for Ron Perlman, it's like stretching all the way to the outside. They're all on for Ron Perlman, so I don't feel so bad. So once I got him over and done out of the way, I had got him to sign this. It was very short, simple, sweet. Loved it. There we go. So I can. Oh, fuck you. See if I can bring it up a little closer. Yeah, that was nice. That was a good autograph. I like that. So that was my autograph from Ron Perlman, and then I wanted to have Kane Hodder do a plug for our channel, but he said that he wasn't allowed to anymore, which really sucked. But he does have a new nickname for me. He called Mankind. Every time he saw me, he would go, "Hey, Mankind, what's up?" So, and I've always admired him and everything. So I will always get an autograph from him. I wasn't going to this time around, but I have to because he's Ken Hodder, so I don't care. Why not? But he's like one of the nicest people there. So I had him simply just sign this one for me. Just one, again, nice, sweet, small, and simple. Just that right there. If you look real closely, you can actually see his eyes. They're looking through, so that's kind of cool too. think that's another Kane Hodder autograph. I have quite a few of his already. And those are all the that's all the autographs I got. That was it. Those are the only people I met. Um, I mean, well, officially met at their tables. I saw James Hong. Actually, he came walking by me in his Lopan photo op costume. That I thought that was pretty cool. I thought I was gonna go, and that would have been cool. Uh, Lance Henriksen. Now that's a funny story with Lance Henriksen. Saw him a lot. I mean, he was his booth was like right near the VIP table, and he smokes a lot. So he just go from there to outside smoke, and just keep walking back and forth. And we would talk and everything, and he was cool. I told him some stories, back there. And the one thing is when you get him to laugh, it's cool. He has an awesome laugh. So I did get him to laugh a few times. We were talking about how hot it was outside, and I told him how, when I was younger, I used to work at a pizza place, and it was so hot in there, we would have to go outside in the heat wave just to cool off. And he just laughed. He's like, "Yeah, it's probably, I forgot exactly what he said. It was so, it was good, but yeah, we had a good laugh. So I like that. Didn't get any autographs from him, but I did get a picture taken with him later that night. When he was outside again. Um, uh, was in the elevator with Beverly D'Angelo, so I got a selfie with her. She was pretty cool. But that Saturday was the day I had my photo op with Clive Barker. So what I did was, after I met Kane and Ron Perlman, I decided to again do the cosplay. So I did the cosplay for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Then got out of that, took a shower, got ready for the photo op with Barker. Then I came back, and then I was like, well, I do it again. So I did the cosplay again for another couple of hours, and then I had the Hellraiser Q&A panel, which I do have uploaded onto our Cemetery Cinema, so check it out. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm actually just enjoying the rehashing the memories. So if you're still with me, awesome. If not, then whatever. I don't care. Um, so yeah, I did the cosplay for a little bit. Yeah, that was for a couple hours, and um then I got ready for the Q&A panel with Hellraiser. Did that. Was memorable. Holy shit. Went up once the Q&A panel was done. I went back to my hotel room, and then I put the cosplay on yet again because it had at 9 o'clock was the costume contest. So I was really nervous about that. But once I got up on stage, it was fine. I thought something stupid was gonna happen. So, but no, it was good. I knew I was gonna win. I didn't care if I won or not. I mean, there were two people there who actually tied for most, scary. I know mine wasn't scary, but they put a lot of thought into theirs, so that's cool. Um, that was fun. And then after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm just, I'm done for the night. And that was it. I got out of that cosplay, and the cosplay was just drenched in sweat from just walking around all those sessions. I mean, I think I put a good maybe 6-7 hours possibly into just wearing that costume. So, and needless to say, that's the first thing I washed when I got home. I was a little nervous because of the latex paint on the stab wounds from the fence post in the movie. I was afraid I was going to ruin it. So when it came out of the wash, all those things were like bright white. I'm like, oh no! But then when I threw it in the dryer, it just went back to its original color. So I was happy. So it smells fine now. um, yeah, I was at the bar last night. Met up with a couple friends, and it turns out I was sitting next to Ski Ulrich. I didn't even realize it. Didn't realize it. So that was pretty neat. Um, and, went to my hotel room, went to bed, woke up, and then just did a couple, round the scene shots for, walkthrough, and then came home. So that is it. That is my weekend at Monster Mania. Saw what I got. Oh, one other thing I did picked up this. My roommate was, she told me that she had saw these little pictures of Gomez and Morticia, and went to the table, and I was like, oh well, those are pretty cool. So she got those in frames, and I saw it, and they wanted $10 for the things that were in the for the pictures that were in the frames. It's like, no, I really don't want to do $10, but it was like $5 just for the print itself. So I had to get a frame for this, but I did get, and I know Darren over at Horror and Me is gonna love this. It's a Creature from the Black Lagoon print. This thing's beautiful. Him and I, we are both diehard Creature from Black Lagoon fans. It was a toss up between this or Bela Lugosi Dracula, but I saw something like, I have to get this. This is fucking nice. So yeah, I'm gonna get a nice little frame for this little guy here, and then put that somewhere, like on an end table or something like that. I'll think of something. That was the only extra spending I did. Next time I go, I learned a lot of things from this one, and even though it's the fourth one, it's the first one I actually stayed at the hotel the whole weekend, like, by myself. Well, I had my roommate with me, but, the first time I went, it was with a group of people. Second time I went, it was just for the day. Third time I went, I stayed at the hotel down the road. So I went to the hotel the night of the convention, then I left to go to the hotel down the road to sleep, and then left the hotel the next morning to go back to the convention to finish the rest of the next day. But this time around, I stayed at the hotel the entire weekend. Shit's ass expensive. So I'm going back in March with my father, taking him for his retirement. We are getting a big fucking cooler, and we are filling it with, actually we're going to get two coolers. We're filling one with alcohol, and we're filling the other one with foods like cold cuts and shit like that. So we're not spending a ton of money, there. So screw their food prices, screw all that. When you have to pay $3 for one can of fucking soda, where $1.75 gets you a 2 liter at the fucking grocery store, yeah, fuck that. So we're gonna play it wise next time. But anyway, enough of my rambling. You guys are probably fucking bored of this. I don't care. But if you stayed, again, thank you. And if you haven't, please hit like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so you get notified of future videos. And that is it from now. We'll see you here and also on Cemetery Cinema. And we'll have another video loaded up as well. I'm gonna post some pictures at the end of of everyone who I had met, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Cheers, fears, and beers. Peace.